Hello, and welcome to another vlog. This is my second last week of videos before I go on a short hiatus. Then I'll be returning in June with some summer vlogs, and in September I will go back to the regular video format. This week's topic is Scleroderma. I'll be releasing a video on Thursday in which I talk more about today's topic, so subscribe if you want to see that. But today there's a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. First, I'd like to talk about someone I know who lives with Scleroderma, and then I'd like to talk about some of the different types of Scleroderma. So let's get started. So my Aunt Debbie has been living with Scleroderma for quite some time. Scleroderma, for those of you who are wondering, is an autoimmune disorder which causes the hardening of the connective tissue. Connective tissue being any tissue that helps to shape and support the body. So specifically bones, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and adipose tissue. So she was diagnosed in 1990 when she was only 27. And this is out of the ordinary because most people with Scleroderma are diagnosed between the ages of 30 and 50. So as you can plainly tell, she was diagnosed very young, and she's lived with the condition for quite some time. So I know my aunt quite well, and I've seen firsthand how bad the condition can be and what it is capable of. Now, it's caused my aunt a lot of health problems. Specifically, it's caused pulmonary arterial hypertension, which has led her to have a lot of breathing difficulties. So she does often use oxygen. So as you can tell, it is a very serious condition. Now, like a lot of the disorders that we've talked about on this series, Scleroderma does affect everyone a bit differently. There's different types of Scleroderma, and each type has different symptoms and different characteristics, and then each type also affects every person who has it differently, right? So it's, you know, a disease that varies a lot. Now, my aunt also wanted me to mention about an event coming up next month. It's going to be held all across Canada. It's called the Run/Walk for Scleroderma. And it's put on by Scleroderma Canada, and like a lot of fundraisers, its intention is to help raise money to research better treatments and ultimately a cure for Scleroderma. So it's a 5K walk that's going to be held in different places across Canada in June, and that was just something that she wanted me to mention. So if that's something that you're interested in participating in, and there's one being held in your local community, by all means participate, because it's for a great cause. So that brings me to the second thing that I want to talk about today, which is the different types of Scleroderma. So there's two main types of Scleroderma. There's localized Scleroderma, and then there's systemic Scleroderma. Now, localized Scleroderma typically only affects small areas of the skin, whereas systemic Scleroderma, which is a lot more severe, can affect the entire body, so the skin and even the internal organs. But systemic Scleroderma can actually be divided into three subtypes. So there's three subtypes of that condition. There's limited Scleroderma, which only affects certain areas of the body, specifically the face and the extremities. So that includes the arms, hands, fingers, and legs. And then there's diffuse Scleroderma, which affects both the skin and the internal organs across the whole body. So that can cause some serious complications, including organ failure. That's not to say that if you have that type of Scleroderma that you are going to experience that, but it is a possibility. And then the third subtype is called Sine Scleroderma. Sine is the Latin word for without, and the reason it's called this is because Sine Scleroderma does not affect the skin, but it does affect the internal organs. So it's without the skin discoloration and the scarring and things like that. So that's why it's called Sine Scleroderma. Now, the term scleroderma itself means hardening of the skin because, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it does cause the connective tissue to harden and to go through some changes. And so the term scleroderma literally means hard skin. So that's just a brief overview of scleroderma and the different types of the disorder. I realize this wasn't a very long vlog today, but there wasn't really a lot that I had to talk about. I hope you found this video informative and learned something from it. That was the intention. My goal with this series is to help people understand conditions that aren't as well understood as they should be. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you on Thursday.